Hey everyone, Mortgage Nerd here. Just want to go over an update on what's going on with the inverted yield curve. That's a huge recession indicator. As you see here, what this means is that the 10-year treasury is below the 2-year. Every time it is below it, you've got the red and you see a recession. The gray bars in the background is a recession. This time frame is what a lot of people say is very similar to where we are now in the late 70s when it comes to inflation. So the 10-year treasury went down dramatically. Even though they were raising interest rates dramatically, this is what the 10-year treasury is what affects long-term mortgage rates. When the Fed raises the Fed fund rate, that's short-term rates and commercial loans and things like that. So you see every time it dips down right after there's a recession. It could be argued that we're in a recession right now because we had negative GDP Q1 and maybe Q2. We won't know that until the end of July. So to give you a visual of where we are right now, this is the 10-year treasury here, that dot, you see 10-year, and these are all the other ones before it, the 7-year, 5-year, 3-year, 2-year, even the 1-year, are all higher than the 10-year. They should all be lower. It should all be downward this way, that the yield for the longer term that you're holding your money, think of it this way, if you're holding your money for a longer term, if you're putting money to invest for 3 years, you expect a smaller return at 3 years here than 10 years. There's no incentive to invest longer term when the 10-year investment is lower than the 2-year and the 1-year. You'd rather invest that money for 1 year. This is always a recession indicator, this and unemployment. And we have the lowest unemployment that we've had in a long time, and it's maintaining. It's really crazy. Now, this one goes by the Fed fund rate. When the Fed raises their rates later this month by 0.75%, you're going to see this one come up, probably this one also. So more is going to be closer to inverting, especially if the 10-year continues to drop. So you can see here the 10-year dropping. That's good for mortgage rates. Remember, the lower the 10-year, the lower the rates. You can see these higher lows keep coming up against this resistance level. Plus you have these daily moving averages as resistance. So as we come down, we have a Fibonacci level and a moving day average down here as well. Hopefully we see this continue to come down. The CPI comes in lower than expected, and we'll see mortgage rates continue to move lower, especially when the Fed raises the Fed fund rate later this month. We might see mortgage rates back in the 4s. But what this video is about is the 10-year treasury. So we see 3.0, 3.1. These are all higher than the 10-year. Recession, if it's not here, is coming. If it is here, it's going to be longer than we expect because we're not really seeing the unemployment yet. Mortgage Nerd out. Thanks.